training program for Democratic women. This is Emerge Maryland, reports that they have 63 of their graduates who are running for office, and apparently that's an increase from 2018. So Nancy, we'll start with you. Do you expect more women to be elected in 2022 here in Maryland?
Well, I hope that happens. I think women make great legislators. They make tremendous decisions, and I think they can be they are very effective. Can they get elected? You know, Emerge helps women learning about fundraising and on the ground campaigning. And if people have learned anything from that, it's that they get to show up and work their little butts off to get in the game. And so I hope that's what people are doing.
Well, using the research budget that is going to look on Wikipedia, I turned up the fact that in 1980, it turns out 4 out of the 8 members of Maryland's congressional House delegation were women. And going 30 years ago, that was 3 out of 8, plus, of course, Senator Barbara McCuskey. So we actually in Maryland have had a long history at various points in our time, not right now, but at various points in our time of having women in, particularly at the congressional level. Obviously, we have it in other offices as well. Can we kind of return to those totals?
I think so. I think we're going to get there fairly quickly. Again, I agree with Nancy, where she says women are tremendous leaders. We lead a little bit differently than men traditionally do. I think you see a little bit more of a finesse instead of an all-out power kind of leadership style. And I think where we are as a nation, I think we're going to see women pick up seats all around the country. You know, people are kind of burnt on the fringes of both sides and are looking for steady, strong leadership, stable leadership, and women provide that in spades. Here in Maryland, on the GOP side, we have 9 women running for Congress or for the House of Representatives, with 3 of them from my district in District 5. We have Tanis Villanova, Vanessa Hoffman, and Tony Dooley, who are all running for the Republican nomination in MD5, which is tremendous, absolutely a tremendous push to get those women on the ballot.
So Nancy, as a former office holder that sometimes a little lonely, I think probably on the Montgomery County Council, at least in gender terms.
Yeah.
How do you see things changing for women in public office during the course of your career?
Well, I think one thing that people have to appreciate is that being a woman, I don't think gets you that many extra points. There used to be this assumption that women would support other women. And I'm here to tell you that is not necessarily the case. I think it's important to be in the game. And I think women may have been discouraged from getting into the game for whatever reason over a series of years. But actually, women on the Montgomery County Council, the numbers decreased and decreased and decreased. And it's really unfortunate. But, you know, we have to support women and help them get elected. But you got to count in the entire electorate, not just other women, because, you know, at the end of the day, they're going to vote party line. That's for sure. And so you have to get women from your party to get out there and be supportive of you. And I don't think it's any great, in my experience, it wasn't any particular great advantage, I think, to be a woman. It was really more my history and my accomplishments and what I said to the electorate more than anything else. And I think that's important for women candidates to remember. It's not because you're a woman. It's because you've done these things, or you can demonstrate an understanding that is successful, or you're good at managing a campaign. I got to say, men tend to slip by. I think somewhat less is expected of men candidates than of women candidates. But nonetheless, it's always a struggle and it's hard work. And I think one of the things that depresses me is when I see multiple women running for the same job, means that, you know, it's less likely that we're going to have a woman in that job at the end of the day. Not always, but it makes it harder. And I encourage competition and support all these candidates. But sometimes I wish there was someone saying, you should run and you should not run because we want to get you elected. And full court press, because there's not just a primary, there's a general election. And that's another conversation.
So actually, Nancy referenced this issue of training and support. So Nicole, what kind of assistance does candidate training provide, and can it make a difference for a first-time candidate?
So for first-time candidates, one of the things that we work on a lot is name ID. Who knows you? Who are you connected to? What circles do you travel in? And your talking points to condense down what you believe in from this vast declaration into a 2-minute snippet that we can use in a lot of places. So we do a lot of that. And we also teach what we like to call the ground game, which includes canvassing door to door, community events, the fair cycle, which is epic here in Maryland, as well as digital text messaging, social media posts. All of those things are not necessarily inherent of someone who wants to run for office. You think you have a good idea, you have a very good character, you've got friends that'll support you. Okay, now what, right? And that's where candidate assistance comes in. It also helps you to decide if this is really what you want to do. Do you have the time, the energy, the money to do it?
But Nancy, did you go through training, or did you provide mentor training over the years?
Well, I personally didn't go through an official training program, but any good candidate asks everybody they know what they should be doing and gets assistance, and that's what I did. I do a lot of mentoring right now, and I just had a long chat with someone yesterday about his campaign, not just women, but men as well. What he needs to do next, what basic stuff that first-time candidates have a hard time with. Just making those phone calls to raise money is tough. Getting people to commit to do something for you. It's more than just saying shaking hands. You have to follow up, and it's tough. It's tough. So I wish them all well.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much. And when we come back from this short break, we'll take up another topic. Does MCPS already have too many administrators, and is the superintendent paid the right amount?